about the heat, the humidity, the records, etc. I will get to those, but instead I thought I'd show you something cool. Instead, we're talking about a total lunar eclipse. It doesn't happen tonight, it happens Sunday night. Visible in Austin and all across Texas, as long as clouds don't spoil the view, and I do not think they will. By the way, it's a crazy name too, the Superflower Blood Moon Eclipse. Basically, it's a supermoon closer than the average full moon. It's a full moon, and the one for May is called the flower moon. It's a blood moon because at totality it will appear blood red, and it's a total eclipse. So here are some times to keep in mind. 9:27, that's when the partial eclipse begins Sunday evening, and it will end at 12:55 a.m. and totality between about 10:30 and 11:53. There's something to look forward to. Here's something you probably aren't looking forward to. Heat building and the hottest of the year on the way. All right, so record highs, 6 of the next 7 days. Tomorrow, not quite a record. Every other day, record heat. Rain, little to none expected. Could we see a bit of a break? Computer models are not in agreement that there might be some showers or maybe a weak front, May 21st through 24th. That's a long way off, so confidence is low, so don't count on it. And today, the National Weather Service released its latest on La Nina. The pattern we're in now continues. It does mean higher than average hurricane activity expected, but we haven't even started officially hurricane season. It begins on June 1st. So we're still at the top of the list, hottest May 1st through 12th, and likely we will at this rate end with the hottest May in totality. Currently outside, 82. Our high today made it to 94. Overnight low dropping only to about 69 degrees. That's 1 degree cooler than this morning, though. Through the day tomorrow, though, we will not be as lucky, soaring all the way to 96. But tomorrow, the record high is 98. We will not get there. But look at Llano. Could be 100 there. 98 in Mason. Hot, dry, continuation. First triple digits of the year possible Sunday, again on Monday. Here's something. The hottest ever in May, 104. 1 week from today, we could be very close at 102.
Thanks, Chik.
We haven't even made it to the middle of May, and I'm sure many of you are already tired of hearing about the heat, the humidity, the records, etc. I will get to those, but instead I thought I'd show you something cool. Instead, we're talking about a total lunar eclipse. It doesn't happen tonight, it happens Sunday night. Visible in Austin and all across Texas, as long as clouds don't spoil the view, and I do not think they will. By the way, it's a crazy name too, the Superflower Blood Moon Eclipse. Basically, it's a supermoon closer than the average full moon. It's a full moon, and the one for May is called the flower moon. It's a blood moon because at totality it will appear blood red, and it's a total eclipse. So here are some
couple of friends here. We got Ewok and we got Skipper, both of them good boys. Yes, hope you guys are doing well. It just dawned on me as I was getting ready to do Facebook Live, it's Friday the 13th. Hanson, how are you? You say it's a UFO. Friday the 13th. Are you superstitious? Let's hope not. Let's hope we can give good luck vibes to everyone. But I thought about it. I was like, ooh, what could go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? At least the full moon doesn't happen until Sunday. If we had a full moon and it was a supermoon and it was the flower moon and we had the total eclipse all tonight, ooh. But instead, no. The eclipse is coming up on Sunday night, and tonight is Friday the 13th through the day tomorrow. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well as we get ready for the impending doom, the heat. 6 of the next 7 days I am forecasting records. 3 of the next 7 days I am forecasting triple digits. Hanson says, not been watching many ghost chasing shows on TV lately. Nice. Who are you going to call? So anyway, yeah, it's looking like we're just in for the long haul with a very July-like forecast. Every red box is a record that we could tie or break. Also, fun little fact, I did some research, and as it turns out, 102, if we get there on Thursday, that would end up being the second hottest temperature ever reported in the month of May in Austin. Second only to 104. That was set back on May 24th, 1925. Danny Glover, how you doing? Sidekicks are here. They are and they are. Kid you not, we're going to make this one a really quick one because I am so tired. I didn't get much sleep last night. And as it works out, the night owl in me is still like, well, let's chat. It's almost 1 a.m. All right, so the heat will be building. The hottest temperatures of the year on the way. In case you're wondering, 98. We set that back on Mother's Day. That is the current hottest of the year, only to be eclipsed by triple digits, potentially by Sunday. Tracking rain, and this is really bleak. The Drought Monitor came out. The rainfall deficits continue to drop. We're 1.25 inches below for the month of May at Camp Mabry, 1.6 below at the airport. And incidentally enough, May is typically a month where we do get a decent amount of rain. Obviously, it typically falls around Memorial Day weekend, which is historically a very wet, stormy period. As of yet, I don't see the signals of that happening this year. Temperature-wise, we're at 76 in Austin. It's 78 in Mason, 71 degrees in LaGrange, mainly clear skies, south wind, which actually is still kind of breezy out there. Look to Abilene, it's 85, 73 in Amarillo, and across the country. Have you guys heard about the crazy storms that pushed through? Like South Dakota had a wind gust of 107 miles per hour. So big time wind maker, causing some issues in parts of the northern plains earlier. That storm system has weakened and pushed through the upper Midwest. Minnesota has been, the last few days, kind of one of the hot spots for severe thunderstorm activity. And things are even quieting down starting Friday. I was going to say tomorrow, but I have to get in the mindset. Whenever it's after midnight, I should just use day names as opposed to today's, tonight's, and tomorrow's. But on the nationwide map, high pressure is firmly entrenched right here at the surface over the Gulf of Mexico. Around that high pressure, we have wind that is coming in out of the southeast, and that is why the heat and the humidity continue on. Obviously, we still have a pocket of cold through the upper Midwest, or not through the upper Midwest, through the Northwest. See, it is late. Upper Midwest here, Northwest there, big difference. And then we've had kind of a squirrely, stalled-ish front kind of spanning much of the country as well, while we are on the hot side of things. George, long time no talk. Hope you're doing great. Bill Bergen, greetings right back to you. Hanson says hi to Skipper. Let's see, Danny says, you were sweating through the park one day in the muggy, muggy month of May. I like that tune. It's good. You should trademark it or something. You can deal with the humidities, blah. Yeah, for me, I'm like, at least there's been a breeze. If the winds were calm, it'd be so much more stifling. So as I mentioned, the Drought Monitor did come out, and the biggest change is there's a little sliver of Mason County up here that had been in extreme drought, and it has now become exceptional drought, which is the worst, the highest category, and unfortunately there's no relief coming anytime soon. Hanson agrees. The winds today were nice. All right, so Thursday's highs, 94 at Mabry, 92 at the airport, above average, but below the records. Now, the record on Friday is 94 at the airport. It's 98 at Camp Mabry. So I do not anticipate Camp Mabry will hit a record, but I do think we'll have to watch records very closely for the airport. We shall see. Air quality for Friday will once again be in the moderate range, likewise for Saturday and Sunday. And please make sure you use that sunscreen. The UV index will be a 10, which is very high. Allergy report, not too bad. Mold has been in the low range. Pine, pecan, mulberry, oak, all low as well. Grass is the only thing that's popping into the moderate range, but it's only 5 grains per cubic meter, which is super, not a huge amount. Temperature-wise, yes, ignore all of this because anytime it's after midnight, those numbers are only showing the highs as of Friday. But the official highs on Thursday were these for Camp Mabry and the airport. All right, did you hear there is a fire burning up in San Saba County, not too far away from the Mason County line? 1,500 acres for that fire, and it was 0% contained as of earlier this evening. So despite the fact that we haven't really talked fire danger lately, here are the fires that have been kind of newly burning in red. In Fayette County there was one, up to the north in Bell County, and the one that I've added here, which is called the Mayfield Fire, 1,500 acres and not contained at all as of earlier in the evening. Friday forecast for fire danger. The worst conditions are going to be through Llano and Mason and up towards San Saba County, where that fire is burning currently. High fire danger for much of the rest of the hill country, and then moderate for areas including Austin. I did mention the drought monitor already. Not good news. So interesting to note, the National Weather Service did their monthly update on La Nina, and we're currently in a La Nina and are expected to stay in one through summer, into fall, and into winter. So essentially, La Nina tends to bring warmer, drier conditions, fall and winter. It also tends to amp up hurricane season, so we could see an above average hurricane season. Hurricane season officially starts June 1st. The question is, will we be able to tap some moisture from a tropical system or two? If that's the case, I mean, that may be really our only good way of getting much needed rain, kind of having to rely on that. Hanson says Georgetown, higher elevation, probably be hotter. And so it makes you wonder and ponder what causes these fires. Yeah, well, or who causes them, right? Hopefully they're all accidentally started, as opposed to someone saying, I think I'm going to do some outdoor burning, and then having it go out of control. All right, I did mention the eclipse coming up on Sunday. I'm so excited about this. The times are good in that, you don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning to see it. Instead, 10:29 is when the total eclipse begins, and the total eclipse ends at 11:53 p.m. on Sunday. Whenever it's at totality, it's actually going to look just like you see here, with the reddish hue, which is partially why it's called the blood moon. The blood moon is for the color. The flower moon is every month there is a name given to a moon, like there's one that's the pink moon, there's one that's the harvest moon, and so on and so forth. So the May full moon is called the flower moon. It's also a supermoon, which means in its orbit, the moon is going to appear brighter and bigger than the other average full moons, and it's because the moon is slightly closer to Earth. By the way, an eclipse, a lunar eclipse, occurs when the moon passes into the Earth's shadow. So if you can envision it, the sunlight does not reach the moon because the moon is in the shadow of the Earth, and hence you see it look eerie. Friday the 13th, they're eerie, only it's going to be Sunday the 15th, but you get the idea. So anyway, the times are on the right, and if you want to double check this later on, I've also posted it on my Facebook page as well. It is on cbsaustin.com. All right, so heat's going to build, nothing we can do about that. When are things going to change? Okay, we've got records on tap 6 of the next 7 days. Rain, don't count on it. A little bit of a break with a question mark. Could we possibly see some slightly cooler temperatures? Computer models are not in agreement. May 21st, 22nd, 23rd, 24th, somewhere in that range, there may finally be a little bit of rain and maybe a front that's on the weak side that tries to nudge in for a little bit. Nothing substantial though, unfortunately. So that's why there's question marks with that part of the forecast. Margaret Riley, hello, saying hi to Skippy. Skippy says hi right back. And of course, Ewok's sacked out of sleep. Turn in the other direction too. Sylvia says you wash your car. Please do. Everyone wash your cars. Do anything you can to kind of snap us out of this, right? So now we are 12 days into the month of May. Let me go ahead and back this up just a little bit. I don't know how many of you have been out to Lake Travis lately, but something that is quite apparent is how low the lakes have become. Lake Travis, shoot, I was going to say I had the level in my notes from earlier. Let me go ahead and grab it. Lake Travis is 62% full, and it is sitting at 650, roughly about 654 feet. Lake Travis has dropped 4 feet in the last month. And of course, as a result, you can see the sometimes islands. Quite a few sometimes islands are all the time islands right now. So clearly we need help. Mother Nature's saying, you don't need no help. Just be patient. So we'll be patient. This, by the way, is not nearly as bad as back in 2011, 2012 when we had a really, really bad drought. And hopefully we don't get to that stage, because the drier it is, the more quickly temperatures will heat up. You know, basically it's like, moisture and temperatures to some extent go hand in hand. If we have a lot of moisture in the air and moisture in the ground, then some of the sun's energy goes toward evaporating that moisture, as opposed to just heating temperatures up. On the other hand, if we don't have a lot of moisture, if we haven't had a lot of rain and it's already dry, then pretty much all of the sun's energy just goes into heating temperatures, which makes them hotter. Curtis Dobbins, what's going on? Floor, hello. Charles, hey. So yeah, we're still at the top of the list for hottest Mays on record. Outside right now, temperature sitting at 76 degrees. I made it to 94, by the way. That was the third consecutive day of a 94-degree high. Floor says, no fun when your AC on the car is out. Oh, goodness, I'm so sorry to hear that. And see, then for me, and again, I'm not the keeper of the air conditioner in our house, but I kid you not, I'm wearing this heavy fleece because if I don't, I will be freezing. For some reason, the way that our AC is set up and programmed, it's really cold when I go to bed. And then by morning, it's not as cold. So anyway, I don't have a say in the temperature part of the department here. Low temperatures, first thing Friday, in the 60s, which will be the coolest we've seen in a bit. 70 was the low temperature on Thursday morning. And here's your hour-by-hour forecast. Floor's got 68 at night. That is chilly, in my opinion. But I know some people enjoy sleeping to cooler conditions. High temperature forecast right around 96. Whole lot of sunshine going on. Patchy cloud cover though first thing in the morning. Afternoon highs on Friday. Look at Lano. Lano's saying, hey, how you doing? 100 degrees. Austin, I'm forecasting 96. And LaGrange about 94. All of these are hotter than your typical day. All right, so there were a couple of storms that did fire along the dry line out west. These have all kinds of fizzle potential going on and pretty much just a shadow of their previous selves and not going to make it into our hill country communities. We have avoided yet one more system. Okay, check this out, you guys. There is a big swirl, and I'm going to clear off the added accoutrements. Big, huge swirl right here with an area of low pressure, and then trailing cold front back here. And this line right here, this line that's weakening as it's pushing into northwest Wisconsin, so potent, was bringing all kinds of wind damage earlier in the evening. Take a look at some of the wind reported. Winds, hail. There were tornado watches in effect, but to my recollection, I don't believe any tornadoes of significance were actually reported. It looks like there were a couple of funnel clouds reported, but let me go ahead and do a query. Maybe there's a tornado hiding under here that we don't see at first glance. It looks like 4 tornado reports. So yeah, typically this part of the country, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, would be more likely to see severe storm season in the June to July timeframe. Typically not May, just a little bit too early. Margaret says a Drought show. Yes, indeed. And that you're pulling out all the good words. A haboob, a dust storm, basically a wall of dust. But yeah, 107 mile per hour wind gust, straight line winds in South Dakota. Just incredible. Margaret says Watertown, South Dakota. And I have to admit, I don't know exactly where Watertown is. But speaking of South Dakota, have any of you guys ever been to the Corn Palace? If you have not, Mitchell, South Dakota is worth a stop. There is a building, they call it the Corn Palace, a building that is decorated entirely in dried corn. It is a sight to behold, and you can actually go inside. There's a museum / gift shop thing. You can read about the history of Mitchell, South Dakota, and I don't know where it is or if we still have it, but we actually have a stuffed corn from Mitchell, South Dakota, from our visit. But yeah, if you're ever passing through, let's say you're going through like Sioux Falls and then out to Mitchell, and then maybe you're into the Badlands, maybe you're going to go visit Wall Drug in Wall, South Dakota, maybe you're heading out to Mount Rushmore, Mitchell, South Dakota, worth a stop. Good place to go. Yeah, Margaret says terrifying winds. Indeed, indeed. Ooh, Francisco says your shrimp thing came out amazing. Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. We finished the leftovers of our shrimp today. It was so yummy. So it was definitely a good holiday to celebrate. And meanwhile, Francisco says, go Big Red, Cornhuskers. Yep, Nebraska Cornhuskers. I'm talking South Dakota, though. Although Nebraska also had a couple of warnings, as I recall, earlier in the evening, and quite a bit of wind as well. All right, for us, all's quiet. We're not going to get any storms. We'll see some patchy clouds and then some sunshine through the day. And next 7 days, this computer model is still saying, nope, not going to happen. However, it's not much, but the European computer model, at least through next Thursday, May 19th, is saying maybe. I mean, ooh, what was that? Truth be told, even if it's only 4/100ths of an inch, that's like literally a drop in the bucket, but I guess better than zero. But even the European computer model is giving nothing to Burnett, for instance, and Burnett County in general. So don't hold your breath for much, but we're just going to keep in a 0 rainfall chance. Many moons ago, I actually had a boss at another TV station say to me, don't forecast rain in a drought, because, you know, typically these situations where you're in a drought, it just becomes a long, drawn-out situation, and oftentimes the reason you're in a drought is because you haven't had enough rain, and then rainfall doesn't deliver. So it can be basically a, you know, cyclical process where you're like, well, nope, didn't get rain that time. All right, next system. Nope, didn't get rain from that one either. So it becomes increasingly more difficult to like confidently forecast rain the longer you're into a drought. So here's your 7 a.m. temperatures on Friday. Around 70 in Austin, 68 in Mason, 68 in LaGrange. Sunshine developing, midday about 84, afternoon way up into the upper 90s in the hill country, right around 96 in Austin, a south to southeast wind. Then Saturday kicks off. We got some patchy cloud cover around, giving way to sunshine. I know this is only showing 93. I'm actually forecasting 98 on Saturday, which would be a record high. Margaret, you missed it. Well, Google it. You'll see pictures. It's so cool because unless you look closely, you wouldn't realize it was made of corn. It's very cool. So it's actually a building, but what they've done is they've actually put corn cobs, corn husks or whatever, that are decorative. So there's like red colors and oranges and yellows and browns. It's beautiful and quite a bit of artistry. All right, so let's see. When does the rain come? Remember the European computer model that's giving us a whopping 4/100ths of an inch? Well, it doesn't come Saturday. Let's look for Sunday. Nope, not happening on Sunday. What about Monday? Nope, nary a drop on Monday. Okay, keep going. How about Tuesday? Still waiting. Meanwhile, you'll probably be able to notice that right over here is an area of high pressure in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico, just stapled over the area. And at the upper levels, we have a ridge of high pressure. And high pressure basically suppresses precipitation. And also because it is creating a little bit of a compressional warming, temperatures typically in the summer months under a ridge of high pressure will be hotter. During the winter months, we can have cold high pressure, but during the summer months, it's just warm, hot, high pressure. Okay, Wednesday, still nothing until late Wednesday. Lo and behold, could Gillespie County pick up a quick little drink? Don't count on it, but at least it's showing up. Thursday, what about Thursday? Oh, there we go. Not much, but there's a little tiny line that might possibly develop and move through, in about a week or so. So again, look forward to it, but don't count on it because chances are we're not going to see much. And even on toward Friday, we might see temperatures close to the hottest ever, which is 104. Finally, if the European computer model is correct, by May 21st, which is a good 2 weeks out, or 1 week out, I should say, from Saturday, would it possibly happen that we could finally see a little bit more rain? It'd be nice, but don't count on it. Marcus, you say you're probably within 5 miles of it. Would not surprise me at all. All right, now let's look at the upper level pattern. Just to give you an idea, big ridge of high pressure, these lines that you can see kind of swirling around are my guide point basically for where the high might reside. And winds around an area of high pressure circulate clockwise. And so at the upper levels, as we head through Sunday and Monday, we have high pressure basically stapled over the Lone Star State. And that squashes your potential of seeing any rain, and it keeps it mighty hot as well. All right, let's advance through Tuesday and into Wednesday. And by this time, that ridge of high pressure looks like it's shifting ever so slightly to the east, but we're still being dominated by it. And then by Thursday, it looks like the computer model data is pretty much kaput. So no, it's still advancing. Finally, by next Friday, which would be the 20th, there actually is a pretty decent signal up in the Pacific Northwest for what we call a trough of low pressure. And so it'll be interesting to see the progress of that system and whether it gets close enough to bring us some rain. But as I had shown you earlier with the European computer model, it does indicate the possibility of some small rainfall amounts. And then let's look ahead to, oh, come on. Any day. No, it's not populating this, although I set it up prior to our Facebook Live and it was showing up. That's too weird. Oh, it may have been like, is it the 1 a.m. thing? It might be the 1 a.m. thing. I think that's what it is. All the maps went away. But trust me, temperatures are going to be warmer than average. All right, I think that is always the cue. Whenever it turns to 1 a.m. and the maps stop showing stuff, that's the cue to call it a night. Sylvia asking, are there signs of a tropical storm yet? Okay, since you asked, but only because you asked, I will show you something that I hadn't planned on showing just because it's such a small potential, but let me see if I can find it here in my show. The GFS computer model, which is the American computer model, is actually showing an early season tropical system, but this far out, I trust it about as far as I can throw it. I just need to find it in my show and then I'll share with you what it looks like. And if we can't find it in my actual show, then I will pull it up on a computer model. But just since the morning on Thursday, the GFS computer model had been indicating that there might even be something that brews in the Gulf. But as the early look of it was that it would probably not move into Texas, which I know a lot of people are saying, we'll take a tropical system if it brings us rain. Okay, I'm having trouble finding it over on my computer, so I will just show it to you over on, not on the weather computer. But before I do that, also, I'm going to go ahead and say you can always go to cbsaustin.com for the latest and the greatest weather forecasts at your leisure. Okay, so now let's go back and I will pull up the computer model, GFS. We'll actually see what the latest run, the nighttime run is showing. Let me go ahead and pull the imagery up. Okay, and this is going to be showing the American Computer Model, the GFS. And we're going to go ahead and look at specifically the Gulf of Mexico, because the this one was earlier showing that there might possibly be something that brews in the tropics. So we'll take it one frame at a time. And where you're going to be wanting to watch and pay closest attention to will be down here. Again, I don't trust it. It's probably not going to happen. But since Sylvia opened up that bag of worms, why not? We'll take a look. Okay, so let's get through time, just so you know what we're looking at. This is pretty much precipitation. And so here's Friday, nothing. Here's Saturday, still nothing for us. Sunday, Monday, the 16th. Here's Tuesday, the 17th. Here's Wednesday. And there is Thursday. And I'm going to keep on moving until I finally see that it's possible this latest computer model doesn't. Okay, there it is, finally. Okay, it's way out there. Do you see? It is right here. That system, we're talking Tuesday the 24th. It's a long way out. And so obviously the potential is super, super low. But let's see what the latest computer model is run is indicating for this thing. So we go to Tuesday night, the 25th or 24th. Now we're to Wednesday. Now we're to Thursday. And now we're to Friday. And now we're to Saturday. Oh, see, this is a little bit different than it had been earlier. So all the way to the very end of the computer model run, which is Saturday the 28th, which I guess is pretty close to Memorial Day. It's Memorial Day weekend. This is showing a very compact area of low pressure that's in the Gulf of Mexico. Again, is it going to happen? Probably not. Even between this computer model run and the previous one, the placement is way different than what it had been. But you know what? We can see systems before the official start of hurricane season, so it's not unheard of for what it's worth. But it's also not a good bet at this point. But officially, tropical season, hurricane season starts June 1st. And with the La Nina in place, we are expected to see above average activity. Essentially, less wind shear and warmer water temperatures have a lot to do with that. Chris Bennett, how you doing? Happy Friday the 13th. I feel like I need to follow it up by saying, wahaha. All right, now we will officially call it a night. But Sylvia, thanks for your question, and we'll watch this thing. You know, I'm not buying it, but I'm obviously going to be looking and watching and tracking, and we'll see how things go. And with that, we are officially done. Have an amazing Friday the 13th. And I'll see you guys later on when it's officially Friday, because, you know, Thursday night at 1 o'clock in the morning doesn't quite feel like Friday just yet. All right, take care, you guys. Have a good one.